Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Difficult Terrain. My name is Putty. This is the Admand Expedition. I am joined, as always, by Marshall. Marshall, are you afraid of the Wizard of the Coast Mafia?
No, not too much. The
Good.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Mafia, yes. The Wizards of the Coast Mafia, less so. Um, Before we went on, I was talking about this had to do with something else we were talking. But I back when the OGL stuff happened, for anyone listening, you can look it up. But it was basically this licensing issue. Wizards of the Coast wanted to sort of revoke a long-standing license that was viewed as very consumer friendly. That's kind of I don't know, a really simple way of putting it. But they anyway, so they back when that debacle happened, I was listening to this guy. This like I don't know, I would call him like a D&D historian or something. Like he was like one of these YouTubers that just seemed to know everything that's happened in the hobby for the last 50 years, and he was saying that that he thought this was inevitable, that eventually they would try really hard to do this, because from his understanding they had tried in little ways in the past, because every time new sets of corporate executives at Hasbro at Wizards got in, like a new crop came in and they looked at the books, like, which I guess happens whenever you have a new set of executives. They want to shake things up, right? They want to put their stamp on the company. Every few years this happens, where you get a new crop of these people, and every time they had a new crop, they would look at their products and they would look at the D&D line and they would say, someone would point them to this and they go, "What's this OGL thing?" And they go, "Oh, well that's like a contract we signed that gives over like half of the rights to produce products for our games to anyone that wants to do it. And all they have to do is put this in, and we can't charge them for it." And every time corporate executives were shown this, their brain melted. Like, they were like, "That's fucking crazy that we ever gave that over. What are you talking about?" And every time, and you couldn't explain to them, well, that this hobby's kind of weird, and actually this probably makes us more money at the end of the day, because it's a weird market. It's not like other markets. Like, I think people tried to explain to these like Hasbro people this, but every time they saw this and they were like, "No, we're just handing people free money. We can't do this." And this guy was saying, like, it was actually inevitable that someone was going to really actually try to revoke it in a big way, because every few years these corporate executives that had nothing to do with D&D, they'd look at the books and they'd go, "This is untenable. We can't just be giving all of our commercial rights away." And so anyway, I don't know why that just popped in my head. I thought it was I think it's kind of interesting the ways in which these massive corporations have all of these. Like, I mean, you know me, I'm very left wing. I think corporations have a profit motive, but I do think on the other hand there is nuance. I do think these corporations also have like a lot of competing factions, I imagine, right?
Yeah, for
in
sure.
all of them, different
Creative
people with
Yeah.
different visions of how they want to move the company. They probably all do want to make money, but they probably have very different visions of how they want to make money. And I always think that's interesting to find out the ways in which these different groups intersect and conflict and come to odds with each other. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why that popped in my head, but it did. I haven't checked on that in a while, but if I remember, the outcome of that was that Wizards of the Coast maintained the OGL, and put all of their stuff on the what do you call it, the Creative Commons, or put the rules for 5th edition, not all their stuff, put the rules for 5th edition on the Creative Commons. And I don't know if you heard this at the time, but they did this thing where with the OGL, they had these very specific provisions built in where they said, okay, there's going to be a few things we mention in the SRD that we're not saying you can use for free. They're just
Gotcha.
examples, and there are creative stuff that you can't use. So, for example, the SRD mentions mind flayers at one point, and like gives them as an example of a monster you might fight. And then when they just put the SRD up on the Creative Commons, they didn't have that language. There is no such language on the Creative Commons to say like, "Oh, this monster is our creative thing." So technically, I don't think this has ever been resolved, You could argue in court that like mind flares and a few other D&D monsters, I think like Strahd from Curse of Strahd is in the SRD mentioned. So you could argue in court that certain
That IP
D&D
is
properties
creative
are
knowledge.
now open to the public. They're
Okay.
completely that Wizard of the Coast no longer owns them, which is kind of I don't know. I don't know if anyone's actually tried to push that. I doubt it because who would want to get into like a lawyer battle with Hasbro? But I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. All right. Last week we spent about half of the show talking, so I think to counterbalance that, we should jump right in.
We
So
spent half of the show playing.
yeah. So what is this campaign? Summarize it as quickly as you can, and what are you hoping to get done today?
I always have you ever
Well
listened to
summarized.
those people that do the
I mean the auction thing?
the auctioneers?
Yeah, that's cool.
what it's cool, but it would stress me the fuck out if I ever went to one of those. Like I'm like,
I could see that.
How am I supposed to understand what you're saying? I understand that you can talk really fast, but I need to be able to follow you. Anyway,
Yeah.
So yes, I am playing Admand, and Admand has his expedition. They're trying to get into Mithril Hall. But to prove that we can get into Mithril Hall, this great dwarven city almost, would you call it a city or just a hold?
I think humans would have called it a city.
Okay. I mean, do dwarves have cities? Well, I mean, Mirabar is a city. But like, do the ancient dwarves have cities in the way that humans did, or are they all holds?
I think the phrase dwarf hold would be a dwarven analogous for what humans would call a city. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this dwarf hold, I almost said Mirabar. We're gonna raid Mirabar. It's gonna involve killing a lot of innocent people. No, we're gonna raid Mithril Hall, and to do this, we need to get financial backing. But to prove that we are ready to do this and to get the financial backing, we're first raiding this, what I thought was a small, petite dungeon called Kundrakar. Last time, well, like 2 times ago, I found out it's not so petite. I found out it is macho mega big. I actually don't know. It literally could be that there's like one more room down here. But yeah. My knowledge of D&D dungeons is that there's never just one room on a different level. It's always like it's like if you go to another level, it's another fucking level. Get ready, strap in. In the old dungeons, if you went, I don't know if it's like this in 5e, but in the like in the way they design dungeons in 5th edition, but in the old dungeons, it wasn't just like it was assumed that by going to another level of the dungeon, you had if you weren't a higher level or you weren't stronger, you would get killed. Like the difficulty got worse every level down.
I don't think that's too prevalent in 5th edition dungeon design, but in I would imagine in Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is more of an old school inspired one, that is probably true, because I know that's designed to be a whole campaign with different.
And that's a mega dungeon, right? Like
yeah, that's like I think it's a level like 1 or 5 to 15 dungeon. Like it's a campaign in there.
I always thought that sounded cool, but then I heard some people that played it said I've heard mixed reviews of that one, so I kind of want to hear someone tell me it's awesome before I ever pick it up.
I that's one where I've always been interested. If I one day I'll put the time in, because I think it's one that you could probably take a floor of and just rip it out and run it, which I think
for sure
that's probably something I'm interested in doing at some point.
Yeah, I mean I like that one also because I like the right, isn't that the dungeon underneath Waterdeep?
Waterdeep, yeah.
Yeah, so I always liked that one because I thought the yawning portal as a concept was always kind of fun. Like the idea of this bar with a big hole in it that monsters can come out of. Terrible idea for a bar. Like I would never drink at that bar, but you know, I mean, it's
if you were an adventurer, maybe, you know.
I guess even if I was an adventurer, do you really want your off time to be like, yeah, I mean, we might have to fight something again while we're resting. That's fun.
Get XP.
XP farm. That's how that's why the adventurers hang out there. They're like, we don't go adventuring. The adventuring comes to us.
Comes to us.
XP farm at the watering hole here, and we fight monsters. And I guess it's probably fun because you have a bunch of other adventuring parties hanging out there with you. So it's like you can 20-on-1 a monster. Like the monster thought it was going to get a fair, balanced encounter, but it's like no.
Nah. You could get a nice stout drink after, and then you've got beds right there
Yeah.
to sleep it
And
all
then
off.
once you've all drank, you can all pee down the hole
Oh yeah, on the monster.
onto whatever monsters are remain down there. Of course, that means that when you go down into the hole to adventure, it reeks. There's just piss everywhere. That'd be awful.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll rethink that. Anyway,
No, they just use like magic to poof
Clean it.
away the pink.
prestidigitation.
Poof away the pink. Poof away the stink.
You can. I think prestidigitation can unsoil a 5-foot cube.
I think
of
you're right,
something.
but I don't know if that's enough of a range to deal with the problem you've
No.
established here.
But it does invent the idea that in the D&D universe, there, like in maybe in Forgotten Realms, I mean, you're running it, so you have to tell me, but maybe is such a thing as like a dropout wizard janitor who like could only learn a few spells, and so they use prestidigitation to clean things, because like
That makes
that would
sense to me.
actually, it'd be really easy, because they would literally just wave their hand and boom, I've cleaned the floor, or
Also
one
the-
5-foot square of it.
Also, there's the solution, of course, of a permanent spell used on prestidigitation to create like a prestidigitation bidet.
Sure, or
Yeah.
there's also I like that. There's also if you learned a first level spell, the what is it? The one of my favorite D&D spells, but I can't think of what it's called. Animated, no. Where you have like a little
Servant,
person-
unseen servant.
Unseen servant. So you could also have unseen servant help you with your janitorial work. I kind of like this idea. Now I kind of like the idea of like this is a cool character idea where you have a dropout wizard who became a janitor, and then one day adventure calls him again, and he has to like rise to the challenge, but he's like so used to using his magic to clean things that he's like, I don't even know how
He's
to
got to
fight.
find ways. Yeah, I like it. And then slowly he does redeem himself and get magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy would be like the most well-paid janitor ever. Like
Yeah.
like he probably works for like a palace. Like a king pays him. To
Oh, I
clean
think it
his
would be
floor.
cool if he worked for the wizarding school that he dropped out of.
Oh, that would be
Kind of like
really
Hagrid.
cool. Yes, like Hagrid.
Yeah.
There's I don't think you're not a big Star Wars guy, right? But you
Not really. I've
have you ever
watched
seen
all the
Clone
movies.
Wars?
I've watched
The
the
show?
first season of Clone
There's-
Wars, or was there a show before Clone Wars? Or am I thinking?
Well, there were
something
two
else?
Clone Wars. There was a 2D and a 3D Clone Wars.
I think I watched the first season of the 2D.
Oh,
Clone
okay, that
Wars.
one came out in like 2003. But yeah, so in the 3D Clone Wars, there's an episode where these clones that you've been following, they're like main character clones, right? These clones that you've been following for a while, they go back to Camino on like leave, and where they get made, and they there's a clone there that had this profound genetic defect or genetic problem that went on, and he's not fit for combat. He's like, he's got all these different problems, health issues that make it so he couldn't fight. And he's the janitor on Camino. Like they have him, so he's kind of like that. That's kind of an example of that kind of thing. And so I kind of like this idea. So I think we should do that.
Instead of this.
Not instead of this, but like
Okay.
one day when Admand inevitably dies. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully no. Well, I don't know.
This is one of our longer difficult terrains already, I think. We're on
I
episode
think
16.
Admand's a little more hard baked than some of my previous characters.
That's true. For sure.
Well, and that
Well, Admand is probably doing the most risky. No, maybe not as risky as your orc character, but one of your riskier.
the orc is what I was gonna say. Is like the orc character was tough to keep alive, only in so much as like Admand does not, the way I've designed him, does not have any desire to charge into like foolhardy ventures. Like he's like, if he sees a dragon, he's not gonna fight a dragon. He's gonna be like, well, we're gonna avoid that.
Yeah.
Whereas my orc character had a really big motivator to like take on ridiculous foes and incredible threats and prove that he's like the strongest person of all time, which is going to be risky, but I didn't really see another way to play that character. Or I didn't
agree.
want to play that character a
Yeah.
different way. And so like that just means that character is going to have to be really lucky to survive, and he wasn't lucky enough. But Admand can be a coward sometimes. That's like built into his character. He's not a coward, but he can be he can live to fight another day. He's not going to be scarred later in life because he didn't challenge that horrible monster that we found. You know what I mean? So he can be a little more wise, I think, in avoiding certain fights.
All right.
All right.
Should we roll initiative?
I would love to. And
Great.
in fact, I already have.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
When I did log on today, initiative was still up, but I assume that was from last week, so I cleared it. All right. Some good initiative roll. One very bad initiative roll, but the other two are pretty good. All right.
This is a terrible marching order, though. I don't want Dorian to go first.
Yeah,
I guess I don't have to have him go first.
You don't. So yeah, you feel... Oh, let me change the music up. Otherwise, unless you have any questions or anything you want to go over, we can... you feel free to begin.
Oh, a little dungeon music?
A little bit.
A little Dungeoni Zanzaroni?
Something to set us in the mood.
Yeah, I am gonna... well, I guess I'm gonna have Dorian skip his turn.
Yeah.
Would you like me to proceed pretty strictly by initiative for now?
No, you're okay. I'll keep it. Do whatever works for you, and I'll let you know when things happen. So this stream isn't particularly deep, but it's running very, very quickly. Walking on squares where it takes up more than half is going to be difficult terrain.
But I don't think I'm gonna get dragged away.
Unlikely.
Okay. Is it thin enough that I could just step over it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Cool. The buzzing, by the way. I don't know if you remember the buzzing from previous session. But it's coming from this direction.
Oh, great. Probably don't want to go down there.
Okay.
I will keep that in mind.
That makes sense considering what we talked about.
What did we talk about? Just now?
You don't foolhardily charge towards danger. The descending fissure...
I sometimes accidentally step into a horrible fire trap, but I wouldn't have done that if I knew.
I think you were pretty aware of the fire trap before you opened the door, but hey.
Well, I guess you're right. I thought that there was going to be some sick ass treasure on the other side.
That's fair.
I think I was like, okay, the fire is the pay I have to pay to get the sick ass treasure, but actually it was a trick, and that was what really Macaulay Culkin'd me. Yeah.
The descending fissure opens up abruptly into a very high cavern. Its ceiling easily 40 feet or more overhead. The stairway continues to wind down along a ledge. That follows the north wall of the chamber. A fast-moving stream about 5 feet wide runs across the floor of the chamber from the north and disappears under a low stone overhang to the south. Larger passageways exit to the southeast and the northeast. So you can see the southeast passageway from where you are right now.
Yes, I think so.
So this is a drop down here. So you're following the stairs as they descend into this this cavern.
I kind of read that on the map, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy when you're caving how quickly you go down elevation. Like when I went caving, we were at surface level, and then 10 minutes later, he was like, "All right, we're now 5,000 feet below the earth," and I was like, "What the fuck? How is that possible? We've been walking for a few minutes."
Can I get everyone to stop right now?
Oh.
And then can I get Admand, because he's usually the sentinel when you're out and about, to roll a perception check?
Perhaps some secret doors?
Ooh, maybe.
Well, probably not, though, because I'd roll with advantage. By the way, if you ever want to not let me know that there's a secret door, you could
Yeah.
always roll the second die behind the screen secretly.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
I
if
wouldn't- I
you're
wouldn't
okay
know.
with that. Yeah, if you're
Oh,
okay with that,
I
I'll
don't
do
care
it for
about
sure.
that.
Cool. It's good to know.
Okay. Perception.
Yes, please. Okay. So, as you are descending the staircase, up above you in the darkened ceiling, suddenly you hear a squee, and 4 shadowed creatures begin to descend. And because you failed to detect them, you are surprised.
That's really bad. Oh, more of these little bastards. I just say to him, I killed your parents. I don't know if they were your parents. Your brothers and sisters and your uncles and aunts, I killed them all, and I'll kill you too.
They immediately retreat.
Oh, really?
Hurt by the allegation duck. Alright, Dorian surprised, Admand surprised. The creatures descend. I think they're the first 3 are gonna
No!
go after
okay.
each
I
of
thought
you.
they were all going to Dorian.
Nah. Alright, first attack on Dorian. An 8 will
doesn't
almost certainly miss. Next attack on Istria. 17 hits probably, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So she takes 4 damage, and the Sturge attaches to her.
Oh, could I say?
Mhm.
I didn't say. Could I say that at this point, given that we were just attacked by Sturges in like a room, past room, could Admand have his shield out now?
Yeah.
Could he have gotten that?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Do you want it equipped as well, or just out?
Equipped, yes, out and equipped.
Cool.
So you said Istria takes 8 total. Wait, no, just 4.
No, just 4. And the Sturge is now attached to her sort of arm, probably. And then this one is at Admand. Oh, the shield isn't going to help you against the 23.
Actually, my shield is a +7 shield.
Oh, okay. The Sturge attaches to your neck, dealing 4 piercing damage and attaching itself to you. This last Sturge then is going to go in for Dorian, I think.
No, not the boy.
Dorian!
He's innocent.
And then it will attack him. 17?
That hits.
Damn. 6 piercing damage as the Sturge attaches to the side of his neck there. Uh-oh. Blood-sucking creatures have assaulted your party. It's Istria's turn. Oh wait, no, Istria's still surprised, so back and now
I don't know.
Dorian gets the first
Okay, Dorian is freaking out, man.
Yep.
Just screaming, flailing. Dorian is going to cast Magic Missile.
Ooh, nice. Really useful here.
1 at the one that is sucking his blood, 1 at
Yep.
the one that tried and failed, and
Yep.
1 at the one that is attacking Istria.
Yep.
And that'll be the order in which the rolls count.
Absolutely. They're all eviscerated by Dorian's magic missile spell. Wiping them out.
All right.
And the one attached to him drops limply down to the floor.
And that's Dorian's turn.
Okay. Admand.
Admand is going to do what Admand does best, and he is going to try to hack this thing off of him. Can he do that? I forget.
Yes, the way I ruled it last week is you can absolutely try, but I'm going to give you disadvantage.
Ah. Jesus.
That hits, and you absolutely decimate this small creature, and it
Fuck
is
this thing.
dead.
I hate it. The worst.
All right. You look up to the ceiling, perhaps, but no more sturges emerge from the darkness.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I think that I'm going to hand a potion of healing to Istria and advise her to drink it.
Cool.
So if it's just a regular potion of healing,
I believe that's 2d4 plus 2.
hey.
Hey, yeah. Pretty good.
All right. So rushing water.
Yep.
Do I see above us the opening to the second floor that I believe exists somewhere? If you know what I mean.
I do. I think I know what the question you're asking, and you don't see any openings above you. Do you shine the light up with Istria, by the way, to the ceiling to see the ceiling?
Sure.
Yeah. There's no more sturges on the ceiling.
1,000 more sturges.
There's a few very, very small openings in the ceiling, but no water seems to be coming out of them.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, well, because there's the chasm on the first floor with the rope bridge, which is in particular what I believe that we're gonna see that somewhere, but I don't know where, or maybe we won't, but I think we might. And that also means we're gonna find a bunch of bodies, possibly eaten. I don't know what we'll find. Should be interesting. Okay. And this room looks fairly empty, right?
Yeah, let me just double check that for you.
We would take a moment to inspect it if you want perception checks, or
sure.
a perception check.
Yeah, you can roll a perception check.
Mainly just scanning the ground for any lost trinkets.
Yeah.
Oh, but just take the first one. But yeah.
Yeah. No, this room does seem pretty empty. You can see some like sturge droppings at various places throughout the cavern, especially on like ledges up above. Let's see here, 10. There are some like muddy markings on the bankings of this stream, but you can't really identify what they are. Little splots of mud. And nowhere in the cavern does this appear to be a muddy cavern, but there are some muddy tracks here.
Obviously we've lost our tracker, but could any of us roll to see what kind of tracks we think they are?
Sure. I'll call for a survival check for that purpose. That's really good. They seem to be reptilian.
Interesting.
And of creatures of medium size, roughly.
My cat's knocking things over. What were you saying?
There are markings that also indicate that some of these tracks were left by tails, not feet.
Tails.
Yeah.
Intriguing. Do I hear anything coming from this passageway? I don't know why I'm having Istria go forward. Have Admand go.
You mean the southern passageway?
Yes, this one down here.
Why don't you roll me a quick perception check? With disadvantage, actually, please, because you're right next to some pretty fast-running water. No, all you can really hear is the rush of water behind you, making it difficult to hear out for anything else. I notice that you have spotted something, so I'm just going to describe that to you.
Oh, tombs! I'm sure there's nothing undead here.
There is, I mean, you can only see a couple of them here, but you can see some large stone sepulchres ahead of you. Like a fancy coffin.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've heard the word sepulcher used in a different sense before, and I'm trying to think what that was.
Yeah, I think I have as well. Is it like a library of some kind, if I remember correctly, or like a sanctum?
I think Catholics called the sepulcher the chamber, the little box that you put the unused communion in. Like the bread that they've blessed, and they've said, like, technically this is Christ's body, so we can't just, like, throw it in the trash. So they put it in a special little chamber. I don't know what they do with it once it's in there, though.
Save it for later.
Save it for later. Okay.
You see more of them, and as you get to this point, you can see that these sepulchres are very intricately carved and decorated, intricate reliefs and designs, and then there's markings on them that you can tell are dwarven runes.
Ooh, can I read them?
Yeah, they're old. So actually, I'm going to have you make a history check. Although, I feel like this might count as your stone cunning.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna... Is that... The stone cunning usually... Does it give you expertise or does it give you advantage? How does that work?
You're considered proficient and add double your proficiency bonus. So it does give you expertise.
Expertise. So yeah, I'll let you roll that history check and add +2, right? You're still level 4?
Yeah, but wouldn't it... Yeah, but I'm not even proficient in history, so I would add +4 to this
+4. Yes.
Whoa.
22. Okay, yeah. So these are still in usage today, but they're clearly a little bit different. And they're not like a language style of rune. They're basically like single runes meaning sort of ideas and concepts, if you know what I mean, with some languages, how that works. So the runes are basically like blessings of the dead, rest well, protect your spirit, things like that. Those are the sort of meanings behind the runes, or glory in the next life, and so on.
Wow, that's a lot of them. They're kind of placed haphazardly. This isn't a very organized catacomb.
You're right, and if you look at the walls, even though this clearly has been tunneled out, there is no. It's not. You would consider like a dwarven sepulcher. You would usually expect to be like a very organized, ordered room with straight walls and grand doors. And this is just sort of very... You are right. Haphazard is the right word.
Haphazard. All right.
The 23 sepulchers stand here. The lids are carved in the likeness of grim dwarves in armor. Dwarvish runes on the front of each tomb appear to represent the names of the occupants or the intended occupants. 3 of the stone coffins have additional runes carved into them. The additional runes record the occupant's date of death and the great deeds the dwarf performed in life. Also carved into these coffins is a warning that doom awaits any who dare to defile the honorable dead. These 3 specific dwarves are named as Borgal the Old, Garin Orc Doom, and Numik the Unlucky.
I do not find. Oh shit.
Durgadin?
Durgadin Durgadin the Black. Durgadin the War Maker.
No, you do not find any tombs that are supposedly Durgadins.
Interesting. All right. We set fire to the chamber. No. Yes, naturally. I think Admand will definitely heed the warning. And I don't, even if there wasn't a warning, I don't think he would defile these tombs. I think that he would think is like what we're doing when we're like taking the money from the chest. That's like reappropriating lost funds. But he would consider raiding tombs to be stealing from other dwarves. It would just be stealing from dead dwarves, but it would still be stealing. So Admund's like, yeah, we're not going to do it. Now he is thinking like maybe we should relocate these tombs because like Jesus Christ, this is so haphazard. But yeah, we'll probably just leave them here. That sounds like a pain. They're like, are they made out of stone? They probably weigh a shit ton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're not moving them. What is down there?
I'm not seeing a ping or an arrow. If you're, or you just like
This
okay,
massive, open, weird, colorful area.
Yeah, this great cavern glimmers with a faint phosphorescence. The ceiling is almost 50 feet overhead, and bright flecks and gleaming stone formations are visible in the distance. A reminder that most of the walls in this level are glittering with gemstones. Patches of strange fungi dot the floor, including capped stalks standing as tall as humans, and glowing puffballs almost a yard wide. High ledges rise 15 to 20 feet above the floor on the north, south, and west walls, and you're currently on the west wall. Narrow passageways lead off to the north and south, and a flight of carved stone stairs descends from the western ledge to a path that meanders through the center of the chamber towards a small iron door in the eastern wall, but you actually can't see that small iron door. But there's one there in the darkness. There is a sound of a sigh. So the sound is almost like a sigh of a soft, cool breeze that rises to the surface far above.
Curious. Curiouser and curiouser.
I'm just gonna check one more thing as well. Yeah, can you... Oh, wait. Yeah, can you roll me a d6, please? Okay, cool.
Just imagining what is in these tombs. It's like each tomb holds a +7 sword of Orcbane.
Yep.
If only I had the courage.
The conviction.
The conviction required to raid them. Oh, I see water.
Yeah, you do. That is a... clearly there was some sort of tunnel through to that pool at some point, but there's been what appears to be a natural rock fall. That doesn't completely block the tunnel. You can see past it, and you can see sort of a pool of natural pooling of water. You can hear it rushing, so clearly it's part of the stream you have seen previously.
Okay, I think we'll go down here for now, because this seems kind of cool. I am shocked that we didn't fight any undead in this room. Although, presumably, if we opened the tombs, that would have happened. I feel like when I see catacombs, I'm like, all right, get ready to fight the Draugr.
Yep. Is there anything you'd like to tell me about how you approach and sort of how you I'd say approach this fungi, this giant, slightly glowing fungus in this room?
Well, I as a fun guy myself, I'd like to think we have a lot in common.
That's true.
How Wow. Giant glowing fungi.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'm worried about it releasing toxic spores.
Yeah, I mean, there are spores floating in the air anyway.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? Before we go into this shit,
Yeah.
could we take cloth and like make bandanas? Just to, it's not gonna be perfect, but just something to give us some kind of mouth protection.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're gonna go down into this situation.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm gonna try. I'm guessing these paths don't have a bunch of mushrooms on them.
They don't. They, in fact, have no mushrooms on them, really. However, where it gets thin like this, it is going to be tricky to avoid any contact with the nearby fungus.
Fuck. All right. Well, we'll save that for later then.
Yeah. Okay.
I go down for now. Check out this little staircase.
Yep, the staircase leads downwards. You can hear the sound of rushing water beyond it. You see the thunderous roar of falling water fills this long, low chamber, and spray makes everything slick and wet. A fast stream rushes through the center of the cavern, emerging from beneath a crude dam of rock and mud in the western wall. The stream disappears into a dark shaft at the cavern's eastern end. A rough, winding path follows the stream toward the east.
Okay, wait. So that kind of confused me. Could you repeat that? I think I kind of got lost there. You're saying that there's a dam on one side.
Yeah, on the western side, up top. Yeah, mud.
And then what's
rock.
the other side look like?
And the stream is clearly going downwards, and you can hear like the roaring of falling water in the darkness. And then there's a really crude kind of short path that's following it.
Oh, I see. And then, what's this green stuff? Is that
It's
like
just
algae?
mud. Yeah, it's mud. Yeah. The ground is muddy around here.
Okay. Is the like what do you call it? Dam on the map? Because I don't seem to see it, but it might be like even deeper in there.
Yeah, no, it's on the map. I don't think it's represented on the map, but it's like around.
Okay.
I'll do a little drawing. Brown. It's like around here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks man-made, or does it just look like things kind of accumulated there?
I roll an investigation check. Who's to say?
History literally says that. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Admand's like, okay. Weird. We should all drink this water. It's probably super safe.
The water earlier in the cavern looked pretty clean.
This doesn't, though.
This doesn't look particularly clean now.
Let's drink it to prove that we're all loyal to each other.
Oh.
It's like a weird test.
Yeah. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to ask Admand to make me a dexterity saving throw. Because
what?
You're a little bit precarious area. It's very slippery around here.
Damn it! I'm terrible at this. Is this a trap?
Okay, he's fine. You start to like slip a little bit towards the edge there, but you managed to get yourself out of any trouble.
Okay, and then this is like a big hole that just the water's going into.
Yeah, it's dark down at the bottom there, but yeah, the water is going into it.
Ugh. A dank hole. All right. I think I'm going to check out this staircase.
Cool. Hold on. Yeah, this is the small, like, winding path. And it seems to go down.
This place is already pretty big. This is... All right. Let me wind my way in. Let me coil myself in like a snake.
Yep, like a snake.
Like a snake. I need to watch that video again. That's great. That wrestling video.
Wrestling isn't wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fucking snake.
I watch it every now and then. I think I saw it last a couple of months ago, and I was like, yep, this is still really good.
Are they, now that Triple H is in charge of the company, are they like doing a whole storyline where he's like evil? Or, oh, I guess he was already kind of evil, but like, are they playing up that, or they don't do that anymore?
I don't really know.
Or you might not know.
The honest answer is I don't really know. I seem to remember him not being able to go out in front of live audiences because of a medical condition, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
Like some sort of heart thing?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. He had a heart thing, for sure. And so I don't know how much he's an on-screen. I don't think he's much of an on-screen character anymore. Okay. So you want to descend down these stairs?
Oh, yeah. We're going.
Okay, cool.
Shit's getting real. Wait, why? What's gonna happen?
Nothing, I just need to move you to another page.
Oh my god, there's another page. Of course there is. The geometries wouldn't work without it. There's a third dungeon level.
And because of the technical state of Roll20, I'm gonna, every time you move levels, we're gonna reroll initiative, because if I'm correct, you won't be able to see the initiative order anymore once we move to this page. Is that true?
Correct.
All right. Then I'll clear it, and then you feel free to reroll your initiative.
I remember I thought there was a way, some sort of setting where you could have an initiative roll that is a map neutral.
Independent. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
I don't know about it. Yeah, if you find it, send it to me. A bit of a wash in terms of it versus your old initiative. Probably a little worse. And I actually need to get another page of notes open. This location. A loud waterfall spills down the northwest wall of this cavern. You can hear it, but you can't quite see it. The rocky walls in this cavern glisten with spray, and a weird array of colorful minerals and strange lichens lend an unearthly beauty to this spot. A fast-moving stream runs south from the pool at the base of the falls, and a nearby natural passage heads in the same direction. A narrow stairs cut into the rock, winding up to the north, and there are two old wooden doors standing in a wall dressed of stone to the east.
Oh wow! I really like whoever drew this, like painted in the water here. It looks really nice. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting different angles on it with my light. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, explore at your own pace.
Okay, so we have two passages down here. One that follows the water, one that doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we've got a door. And that looks super artificial. That's just like a hard wall, like straight 90-degree angle. So that looks very artificial. I think I would you know, just in case, I think Istria would shine her light down into the water, just in case there's anything down there, coins, goodies, treasures?
There's no goodies, coins, or treasures, but what she does see are quite a solid population of multicolored fish and white crustaceans.
Interesting.
Can I have her roll a nature check for me as well, please?
The nature roll will say, these are the kinds of fish that appear when you suddenly introduce a lot of dead bodies into water.
Yeah, they're the death fish. They're like the vultures of the sea.
Is nature wisdom or intelligence?
I believe it's intelligence.
Damn it, Dorian. Dorian, you dumb blonde.
Yeah, I don't think there's any deep understanding Dorian has here, but the fish do look edible, I guess.
Dorian's like, I'm hungry. Skin attack. All right. I mean, I am naturally drawn towards this beautiful-looking door made of fine materials. Oh, two!
Yeah, and they're wooden. The walls are made of stone, dressed and sort of well built, but the doors themselves are wooden, a little rotted.
I myself am immediately drawn to these wooden, shitty doors. Made of just crap materials. Made of garbage, really. Question is, which door to open? We'll start from the bottom. Start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Okay.
At the bottom.
This door has swollen shut.
Oh, okay.
It's jammed.
I'll try the top.
This door has swollen shut. And it's jammed.
Go back to the bottom.
This door has swollen shut. And is jammed.
The way is shut. 'Twas made by the dead, and the dead keep it. The way is shut. I think Admand will get out his warhammer and just give it a good bash.
Cool. Yeah, roll me. Just roll me a athletics check here. Oh yeah, you hear a clue, and the door doesn't open, but it, you've definitely loosened it up.
Unswollen it.
Well, yeah. As you open, deswollified. As you open it up, you open up into what appears to. So this is just a large sort of chamber or set of rooms, and they are mostly empty. Little bits of sort of materials are on the floor, so like nails, hinges, things like that, as well as you see one or two crude looking stone weapons like spears and axes discarded in this room, but it is otherwise quite empty.
Similar vibe in this second room.
Yeah, what I described essentially describes all three of these little sub-rooms here.
Oh, and it's a dead end, it looks like.
Yep.
I don't trust dead ends.
Yeah, that's reasonable. They are a little more trustworthy than live ends from my understanding.
What does that even mean? Like someone's gonna fart on you? She's live! Run! It's gonna blow! Alright. I think Admand... Could Admand look specifically for secret doors in case there's any secret actual passages in here?
Absolutely. Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Perception. I guess with advantage, right? Oh, yeah. If I do roll with advantage,
If I'm
do it. Yeah.
Well, I guess if I'm specifically looking for secret doors, maybe it's fine for me to roll. I guess I was saying, like, if I'm just making a regular perception check and I don't know that, I don't have the thought, you might not want to give it away. But
yeah. Cool. Okay. You look around. You activate your secret door perception sense. And you're pretty confident that this room contains no secret doors.
All right, I say there's no secret doors. Then we walk out, and they're like, "Why would there be?"
Yeah.
Only you always think there's a secret door, Admand, you weirdo.
True.
And then we close the door on Dorian.
Let me out!
We re-swole it. I'll keep the door open so I know. Cleared the room.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, Admand's gonna go up to this door and he's gonna try to bash again.
Cool. Yep. Makes athletics check.
Oh,
nice.
That was not supposed to be with advantage.
16 is still sufficient. Yeah. And you disqualify the door.
Oh, this looks familiar.
This one is not empty.
This looks a lot like the set decoration that was in the some of the chambers up top.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. The door gives way grudgingly, revealing a low chamber of dressed stone. The chamber is filled with what appears to be rotten food, barrels of salted meat gone bad, sacks of flour or grain covered in russet-colored mold, tons of cider turned to vinegar. Two open archways in the east wall lead to a similar room, and two more openings are dimly visible beyond. The floor just past the first archway gleams wetly.
This one's wet?
Yes, both of these two. There's a little bit of a wet patch beyond.
Oh, both of them. Oh, gross. I guess we would give a quick toss through the supplies just to see if there's anything of value, but like we wouldn't spend that much time on it. Maybe like a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe the vinegar would be useful, but it wouldn't be particularly valuable.
Yeah, and probably like not like possibly dangerous, because like I feel like you want to make vinegar on purpose. You don't want to make it on accident.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll pretty much leave everything then. I will. Can I I guess I probably have to follow the pathways. Let me try to do that. Hello, here's Johnny. Pops in.
Okay, as you walk through this archway here.
Oh, fuck.
What appeared to be a wet patch on the floor suddenly twists like a snake and lunges towards you. It is going to have a surprise, and for the first attack, I think I'm going to call it an unseen attacker.
That's a really good attack. That's a really good trap, because I never would have thought that the wetness was a bad thing. I mean, I immediately thought the wetness was a bad thing, but I thought it was like a sign that there was something up ahead that was wet. I didn't realize that the wetness was itself the thing. Anyway, okay.
It attacks at advantage. 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, you take 4 bludgeoning damage, 5 acid damage, and Marshall, do you happen to be wearing non-magical metal armor?
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. No, I'm not. I'm naked. Shut up. I'm not doing this. Admand has his dick just swinging and he's fighting this thing. He gets horrible acid burns. Is just horribly scarred all over his naked body, but his armor is waiting in pristine condition. He just happened to strip entirely naked while we were searching the previous room. No, yeah, okay. Damn it.
Your armor takes a -1 to its AC.
Fuck. I hate that. That's truly My worst nightmare. Okay. Damn you, game.
And we will. Yeah, it's Dorian's turn.
Oh, and this thing's gonna damage my weapons, my attack, and I just know it. I just know it. This little shit. Oh, and it's gonna be resistant to like every damage type. Let's just leave. Let's abandon all hope. I already know this thing's gonna be the most annoying thing we fight today.
You seem to have some serious ooze PTSD.
Dude, who doesn't? Oozes are the worst.
Yeah.
Oozes are the absolute worst. I think they're a great monster thematically, but I've never not been traumatized by them. I've never had a fight with one that was like, oh yeah, it went perfectly well. We killed it in like one round. It's like, okay. I mean, fuck. Can Dorian even see this thing? I can't quite see. Like, can
I can check. He can't. Not in his current position.
So Dorian's just like, why are you complaining, Admand? You're fine. It's just wetness. No, I think he assumes something's amiss. Admand's probably screaming, God damn, my armor, my dick, everything. My dick. Okay. Dorian is going to, I guess, try to move 5. 10 feet? Can he see it there?
No, I'm looking at his vision on my screen.
Okay. Is the same wetness over here? Like
It seems to have gone now.
Ah, okay. So it's like, it's one ooze, and if you step through either door. Okay. 20, 25, 30. What about from there? Can he kind of see it past these boxes?
The Roll20 says no, so I'm gonna. Well, actually, no. He can catch. He sees a glimpse of it. Yeah. So he'd have 3/4 cover, and you'd have 3/4 cover if you tried a ranged attack roll. But obviously, he can see it for the purposes of other effects.
One second, I'm just gonna see what Mind Sliver says. I have a feeling this thing doesn't have a mind, but I don't know. It might be able to take psychic damage. I'll cast Mind Sliver on it. Why not? I drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. I need him. I guess I can actually cast it. There we go. Oh, that's a terrible roll. I need him to make an intelligence save if he is not immune to psychic damage.
A -1 will fail, and the ooze will take 2 points of psychic damage.
Hey, okay, we found a weakness. There we go. Okay, kite it. Kite the ooze, psychic damage. That's the play. I'm half serious, so that we might have to do that. Okay. Admand's turn?
Yes.
Admand's gonna swing his precious warhammer at this awful creature. I hate it. I hate it already. I know what's gonna happen. Question is, would Admand be suspicious that he will ruin his weapons if he attacks this thing?
You can roll an Arcana check as a bonus action if you'd like.
Arcana? Oh, wow.
Yes. You and your people have had history with oozes, and you have experience with them. And anything Marshall knows as a person, you feel free to allow Admand to know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's already melting our armor, I think there are some oozes that don't melt things that you attack, but I don't even know. But I'm guessing if this guy's melting our armor, then he's gonna melt my weapons. So I legit actually think I'm gonna kite this guy. Admand's gonna piss on him and say "fuck you." Literally, no. He's gonna move back 5, 10.
Wait, so you doing anything before you move?
He's gonna disengage.
Okay.
Yeah, as an action.
Yeah.
The
ooze has Sentinel, so it.
Shit.
I'm kidding. Now that would be the most annoying creature in the world.
That would be absolutely nightmare. nightmarish, if you will. Okay. That's Admand's little turn.
Cool. Istria now.
Can Istria take a shot from there?
Yeah, I'm going to give it half cover. $15 with half cover will still hit. 7 piercing damage, which it takes all of.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Lay it on him, boys!
You see as the snake kind of recoils backwards and opens its serpentine mouth as if to scream, but no sound comes out.
Oh, God. All right. That's Istria's turn.
The snake licks its lips.
It's like a snake ooze?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's so slow. So,
What's this movement?
You'll have to find out. It looks piningly at Admand's metal armor, and then looks above it, and then moves out of the view of the two people in the other room. Now, on my technology, Dorian can't see this coming, so I think this is going to be an advantage as the oozy snake sneaks through the boxes and debris.
I can't see it!
And bites out at Dorian. Does a 10 hit Dorian?
A 10 does not hit Dorian.
Dorian is able to dodge it. And that's his turn. So Dorian knows that he can't see it, but he knows what square it's in. It's in this square.
Could he target it with Mind Sliver again?
He can't see it, so you drive into a mind of one creature you can see within range.
What if he just strongly visualizes it?
No.
What if he touches it? Hands burned off. Why did I think that would be a good idea? Okay. I think he's gonna disengage. 5.
Yep.
10. 15. Okay, that's 30. And that's his turn.
Okay, Admand.
It's gonna move back to here. Prepare yourselves! That's his turn.
Okay, Istria.
Istria, I think, is going to ready an attack.
Yep.
To shoot at this thing.
Cool.
It's going to the fucking wall!
Dorian.
That bastard go. Is it just really slow or is it smart? Shit.
I think you saw its intelligence saving throw.
We're gonna have an alien versus predator situation here. Dorian is going to also crossbow at the ready, prepare to shoot at this thing if it comes through.
Admand.
Admand says, "Hold the line!" I guess Admand will prepare to attack it if it comes within 5 feet of him, but that seems unlikely.
Yeah, that's fair. Istria?
Same, prepares to attack.
Yep.
Wait, is it gone?
Dorian?
It's not even initiative anymore. Prepares to attack.
Okay.
Prepares to attack. Prepares to attack.
Okay. Dorian?
Okay, so nothing's coming. I mean, we would wait for like another minute. Does nothing happen?
No. The air grows quiet.
Fucking son of a bitch. Alright, everyone prepare yourselves. It will eat our weapons. It will just decay my beautiful armor.
Actually, but now we're out of combat a little bit. I can do some technical stuff to make this a little easier for us. So I'm gonna rename your armor here, chainmail. I'm just gonna put ooze in brackets, and then if I change the AC of the armor to 15, I believe it should automatically update. That looks right, right? Your AC's 17. And, yeah,
Yep.
That's right. Cool. All right, there you go.
Can this be repaired?
It's corroded, so yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, when you said it's corroded, I'm like, I don't know if corroded stuff can be repaired. Like I'd probably have to take it to a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Or an
yeah,
armor smith.
Yeah, someone with some skill.
All right. Well, put that on the agenda, I guess. Man. All right. I'm gonna have to have my companions carry around an extra suit of armor for me on these sorts of things.
For sure.
That's next on the agenda.
See, that's where the often underutilized padded armor or whatever that low AC heavy armor is useful, because
hide.
I don't think hide is heavy armor. I think it's medium armor. There's one heavy armor under chainmail, ring mail.
It's still metal though, right?
It is metal, but it only weighs 40 pounds. It only costs 30 gold, and there's no strength requirement on it, so just carry it around.
Guess. Yeah.
And because of your dex modifier, you'll find it hard to wear non-heavy armors.
I think Admand's looking to eventually, obviously, upgrade to plate when he has the money for it. It's very expensive. How much does it cost in this game?
1,500 gold.
Jesus criminy. So much. But
that's sort of the base rate. Plate. The thing with plate mail is that you've pretty much always got to custom order it.
Son of a bitch.
But you're a dwarf, integrated into a dwarven community, so you know a lot of guys who can make plate mail.
And I'm smaller, less metal, cheaper. Discount.
Well, you're wider.
Oh,
it kind of all balances out.
What if I was a halfling? What if I was a gnome? Like a gnome?
I think at that point it would cost the same, because even though there is less materials, there is a higher level of skill required.
They're like, oh, your unshapely, strange, mutant body. I can't get it to fit. All right, Admand is going to be wearing this for a while, but yeah, I think when he can eventually
17 AC is still pretty good.
It's fine. When I can eventually afford plate mail, I think I might actually still keep the chainmail as a backup for these sorts of situations.
55 pounds is a lot to be carrying around.
It's a lot. Backup. I'm not going to be carrying it. It's going to be on a mule. It's going to be on some sort of animal.
For sure.
Eventually, we'll have... When we go to Mithril Hall, we're going to have 50 wagons, 1,000 servants, an army of 100 jesters.
A city 20, on the move.
Yeah. We're gonna have elephants and dancers and jongleurs.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Absolutely nothing that contributes to an expedition. Like, it's just all pomp and circumstance, but they'll be able to carry things.
That's what you need. Anyway, yeah.
I want my clown to carry my armor.
My jester.
Come here, jester. Carry my armor. All right. Our backer is like, what the fuck are you spending all this money on? I'm seeing that you've hired 50 jesters.
Required. Hi. There was a puzzle in the dungeon.
I need constant entertainment.
I struggle with attention deficits. I require the entertainment to continue the expedition.
If I'm not entertained, I begin to think about how small and meaningless we are in the grand expanse of the universe.
Oh, very well then. Sounds reasonable.
Is it still wet here? How wet is the floor?
Seems pretty dry.
Man, fuck all this shit. I swear to God. I swear to God. Can I, corner peek? Can I, can Admand, put his head around this corner without actually stepping in the next square?
Sure, yeah. Feel free to mechanically do it, and then we'll know that you didn't actually step across the corner.
I'm, halfway. I am in there. Okay, do I see any? I don't see the snake.
No.
Snake. Okay, I'm actually gonna step there.
Okay.
Snake lashes out.
No.
Fuck this. Do I see any wetness?
No.
Literally gonna have nightmares about this.
I'm gonna stop you there because I think as you start to move through here,
Snake. I fucking knew it. It's 1,000
from
snakes.
the boxes to your isometric north, out of them comes indeed this ooze snake that you had previously been fighting. Now I think I'm going to give you a perception check to avoid surprise.
Yeah, I mean
here.
we were
for sure
on edge. Perception.
Perception.
Just one of us or all of us?
Yeah, just Admand. I'm going to publicly roll the stealth check because that's what it's going to be against.
That's so low.
The reason why I didn't roll a stealth check or perception check earlier is because it was indistinguishable from just being a wet piece of stone. But now you know you're looking
And
for
I
wetness.
stepped in it.
Yeah, that's also true. But now you're looking for wetness, right? So even if it can effortlessly become wet, I mean that doesn't really make it.
I perceive
hide.
wetness as an enemy. I shoot arrows at any puddle I see for the rest of my life.
Okay. 21. So yeah,
That's
it's gonna.
huge.
Yeah. So it's gonna attack with surprise with advantage here.
I hate you.
You mean
not you,
the
but-
ooze, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I hate you.
All right. It lashes out, striking at you. 14 to hit is going to miss.
Hit me there. You haven't corroded my armor enough yet, you bitch. Right.
And then we can go to Dorian's turn.
All right, Dorian is gonna step back and shoot an arrow at this thing. Well, actually, I think he'll shoot before he steps back because he's in a better position to shoot there, probably.
Yep. I'm going to give the ooze like 3/4 cover because it's basically in the boxes. Like it's coming out of the boxes towards Admand.
3/4 cover?
Yeah.
Would I know that before I take the shot?
Yeah.
In that case, I might actually just cast Mind Sliver on it again.
Yeah. Oh, well, good decision. It fails, so it's going to take the 6 points. Token layer.
Do that terrifying silent scream again?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's a little bit of a different angle now, so maybe its neck extends out in like a cringing, and its slimy tongue comes out. But yeah, no sound.
Run for your lives! Admand is gonna disengage.
Yep.
Move back here.
Yep.
Istria is gonna bonus action disengage and take a shot at it with her crossbow. Actually, would I have a better shot if I shot before I bonus action disengaged?
I think if you used a melee weapon from this square, I'd say half cover.
Oh, a melee weapon.
Yeah, you're gonna struggle with a ranged weapon fighting this thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, in that case, I'm just gonna bonus action disengage and shoot from there.
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully it has low AC though. I think it does. 12? Probably not.
3/4 cover that misses.
Son of a bitch! Alright.
She shoots at the creature writhing its way through the boxes, and she hits one of the boxes.
Okay, that's Istria's turn. Come out, you little snake fuck!
It slithers out of the boxes, down onto the floor.
I'm a fucking snake!
I'm a fucking snake! 11's gonna miss. Dorian.
Dorian, Mind Sliver. Actually, wait. Does he have a clear shot?
I think he does, yeah. I'd call that a clean shot.
Okay, he's going to take a clean shot.
All right.
Take the shot.
Take the shot. Oh! Why is this an inspiring shot, Marshall?
Maybe because Admand is in a strange position where he feels very vulnerable. He feels like he gets like it's a bad idea to attack this thing, and so he feels helpless almost. He's not actually helpless. Like, he could attack it, he just doesn't want to. And this is a rare case where Dorian sort of heroically stops it as it's chasing after his leader, and I think that probably is at least inspiring for Dorian.
Cool.
And 8 damage. Eat that, snake.
It cuts through it, and it does that silent scream again as the crossbow bolt indents itself. And it sort of like explodes into a puddle of ooze.
Okay, we immediately begin to burn this entire dungeon to the ground to make sure this never happens again. I literally pour 50 gallons of gasoline in this room and just start. We all burn with it. You know, it's like whatever, anything to get rid of this thing. Okay, excellent. Actually, Dorian's kind of interested. Does the ooze puddle immediately disappear?
No, it's just on the floor.
Could he like collect a sample of it? Might be.
Does he have a container?
We have empty potion bottles.
Yep, sure.
He'll do his best to do it without burning himself, and then he'll steal it and.
Yeah, give me a dexterity arcana check. Is he proficient in arcana?
He is.
Okay, so yeah, just roll dexterity and we'll mentally add 2. 9. I'm gonna roll at disadvantage here, and if it hits, he'll have resistance to the damage. Okay, so no, he successfully picks up the ooze without taking any damage.
He scoops it all up, seals it, drinks it, becomes an ooze.
Okay, he's dead.
He's dead.
Do you have anywhere on your spreadsheet you can note that he's got that?
Yeah, I could note that.
Cool.
I have no idea if that's beneficial, but I don't know. It seems like a cool thing to have.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there will be some use for it.
Strange experiments, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Come up with a way to become immune to the ooze.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, acid. What if we could develop like an acid-resistant metal alloy?
Ooh, now you're talking.
That'd
now
be
you're
pretty
talking.
fucking cool.
Yeah. Or a treatment you can put to have that effect, even without it being infused into the metal.
That'd be even better.
Yeah. Okay, alright. That's cool.
I've labeled it bottle of ooze juice.
Yep. Gray ooze juice just is probably more helpful for me for later reference.
Do you tend to spell gray with the A or the E?
The E.
I tend to spell it with the E too. Something about the A always looks weird to me. It's I think it's probably more like, I think it's one of those things where it's like we have certain parts of English that are more Anglo-Saxon and certain parts of it that are more like French, Latin kind of. And I think I wonder if that's like the E feels more French, the A feels more like Anglo-Saxony. Or like you can spell axe, AX or AXE. And I have always thought it looks weird without the E. So
I agree.
always put on the E.
Yeah.
But like in a way that's kind of weird because it's like there's a perfectly good spelling that actually just takes 2 letters. Why don't I spell it that way? But it just looks too bare, too naked, like a filthy naked little axe sitting in the street. It needs protection. It needs an axe cover, an E.
I imagine a lot of it comes from which one you were exposed to more in your formative years. I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then there's I've always been fascinated by the the difference between British and English spelling, with a lot of words that end in where the last. I think it's like if a word is spelled so that the last syllable has an O. In English, in American English, it's often just an O, and in British English, it's often OU. Especially if it ends with an R. Sorry, if it's like OR. So like color is
Yes,
OUR
armor,
in British English and OR in American English. Oh yeah, armor,
honor.
on honor. And I there's something about it that I like. Whenever I see the OUR, I wanna like give it that oomph that like honor.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
never. Armor is an interesting one because I go back and forth between the spellings a lot, and I think a lot of it has to do with D&D. But yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
on certain things I go, and then like I really like the French spelling of theater, where the R is before the E, which is like most people here spell ER with
Hmm.
theater, but
Center's the same, right? Yeah, I think there's center you can
that's
do
a
with
very
ER or
British
RE.
spelling of center.
Okay.
I would never spell it that way. I think, but I am aware of that. The RE, yeah, center,
Yeah.
centre.
You're giving a lot of prevalence to your French theory with the
Yeah.
yeah with the
Oh
accent
yeah.
there.
Well, no, I think my
Oh,
understanding
just
is
right.
that is all. Yeah, that's like a lot of French influence on those words. Or like
Do you know one of my interesting things on this is that oftentimes our English words for example, like meat that you would eat is based on the French, but the English word for the animal out in the field is based on like the Anglo-Saxon because of you would be more likely to speak French if you were eating the meat versus if you were actually farming the meat. So like pig is like I think it has an Anglo-Saxon root, but pork I think has like a
yeah.
French root.
Yeah,
Things like that.
beef. Beef sounds very French. Like, beef, beef, beef.
Yeah. Cow.
But then cow, because the French word for cow is la vache.
There you go.
I think it's
Yeah.
la vache. It sounds very different than cow. So, anyway, and then there's like right. They used to say. I think you might have been the one that told me this. Someone taught me that we call it a. I'm sure I feel like this is something you'd know because of your background in law. I was told that we call it a last will and testament because at the time half of the people spoke French, half the people spoke English,
Yeah.
and the French people knew what testament meant. The English people or the like Anglo-Saxon people knew what will meant,
Yeah.
and so they both if you called it the last will and testament, everyone knew what we were talking about,
Okay.
and that just stuck, which is kind of interesting.
Cool.
Anyway, okay, so yeah, okay, a little fun letter diatribe. I think Putty and I should make like a linguistic podcast for like 12-year-olds. I think and I mean that in a fun like that would be a fun podcast. Like
I love
like,
language. One of the things I was big on in my history teaching career was like how much language tells you about history and how much history you can learn through language, especially in Britain with the English and the French backgrounds and like place names. Like you can it's really fun to look over British place names and try and figure out whether they're Latin, French, Anglo-Saxon, or Viking, right? And you can do that if you just look at the suffixes on all these place names. You can tell, well, most of the time, whether they were established during which period of British rule.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely like that. I think I mean, there's similar things here, right? Like here we have, in certain parts of the country, very English town names. In other parts of the country, very French town names. And in some parts of the country, very Spanish town names. So New Orleans, Los Angeles, Boston, like, you know, those are three different kinds of cultures, and they're all over and then you have throughout the country Native American town names and state names, and you know, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, these are all like Native American, they all have roots in Native American tribes. So anyway, okay, so I am going to head to the south, to the north. We're gonna head to the north. Do I see any more wetness?
No.
Okay. I'm literally just shaking, waiting to get attacked by another goddamn snake. I think the fact that it was a snake ooze is pretty funny, though.
Mm.
Were you excited when you read that?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a little thing on the page, and I was like, I want to emphasize this. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Snake. Did it have basically the same powers as a regular ooze, or did it have special snake powers?
No, I mean it was just the stat block was just a gray ooze. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a similar vibe? This room?
Yeah. No, and just like the other rooms, it has the same stuff in it: ruined foodstuffs, rotted grain and barley, gone off cider and other alcohols.
Looks like we've reached a dead end.
Indeed, you have.
Once again, I will have Admand just give a quick check for any secret doorways.
Yeah, go ahead, roll perception check at advantage. Once again, you are very convinced that there are no secret doors here.
There's none. They're like, we know. No one thought there was.
Just you.
Trust me, they're here.
Somewhere.
I'm very paranoid because we literally found this place. The entrance to this whole part of the dungeon was a secret. It was a secret.
That's true. Yeah. Your Dorian's a human, isn't he? Or is he a half-elf?
He is.
Okay.
Oh no, wait. That's a great question. He's a human. He's a human.
Okay, cool. That's why he doesn't have any dark vision. I was like, that seems like an error. And I was like, no, actually he just doesn't have any. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just a wee human. But he's got heart. He's got soul.
He's got funk.
He's alive, which is better than I can say for some companions.
Too soon.
Too soon. When do you think something is too soon?
I don't actually think anything is ever too soon. I believe in
for
the.
You.
Yeah. I believe in the. No, I guess I believe. I guess I can only really speak for myself. I believe in the line of thought that comedy is one of the vehicles you can process difficult situations.
Yeah, and I guess there's a sense in which if a joke is not funny and just mean and cruel, then that's going to be cruel even 100 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because that's a lot of comedians now complain. It's like people are too sensitive, and I'm like, well, the jokes you're telling just aren't funny. Like if you told funny jokes that were offensive, people would laugh. But you're telling, you're basically just insulting your audience, and then expecting them to laugh.
Sometimes he takes outwardly a bit of a rough stance on this, but when he actually sits down and isn't being facetious, I feel like Ricky Gervais is good on this, as he'll often take that line of work as like, I can joke about anything, but if people don't laugh, I'll stop doing it. Like it's the construction of the audience. Yeah,
there's unfortunately a lot of, I've noticed. I mean, I'm not a huge comedy guy. Like I don't follow a lot of comedians, but I think part of the reason I don't follow as many now is there's been there's just been a lot of comedians I've listened to in recent years that their whole stand-up act seems to be complaining that people don't find them funny, and I'm like,
right,
then that's get a new job. You suck. Get off the stage.
Or they're one of probably the biggest demographics of people complaining that they're getting cancelled while having this massive platform.
Yes. Yeah, I'm being cancelled while I'm on a Netflix special.
Yes.
And then being interviewed about the Netflix special on Joe Rogan and telling Joe Rogan that I'm being cancelled. It's like, aren't you? It's like 100 million people have heard about you, so I don't know if that's being canceled.
Exactly.
All right. It always gets political here at the Admand expedition.
That is true.
It is true.
And we make no apologies.
Because we're just edgy, and if you don't find us funny, then that's your fucking fault. No,
we used to be edgy. I don't think we're edgy anymore, to be honest.
We used to be really edgy.
Yeah.
if you remember, I opened up our this podcast with the Matsudaira sex scandal, and you're like, I
Yep.
don't think we can get away with that
Yeah,
anymore. Things have changed.
I don't think that lands as well these days. I'm not gonna lie.
There's been a lot of real sex scandals.
Real ones, yeah. So, and yeah. It gets a little edgy on the wrestling show sometimes. Tucker's a little edgy, but yeah.
I feel like sex scandals, partially because, like, I don't know, a lot of this was just being covered up, right? So I'm not saying that.
Although, to be clear, I never covered it. Anything.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think part of the reason why it's less funny is, like, it used to be a lot of sex scandals were like, okay, these people had sex. And
yes.
They weren't
consensually in a workplace. Yeah.
But as time has gone on, we've figured out, a lot of these were not consensual, and a lot of these sex scandals are rapes and sexual assaults. Yeah. And then it's like, that's a lot less fun. That's a lot less funny.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Admand is going to start heading in this direction as this trio holds the light.
Cool.
Hold the light. Do I hear anything down here?
Rushing water. This long, narrow cavern is half filled with an underground river, flowing along at a rapid pace. A narrow ledge on the north side overlooks the river. So there's a little bit of a drop into the river here, so don't fall in. A bridge of stone spans the river, leading to a larger ledge on the south side that follows the course of the river to the east. And it's a nice bridge of stone, well designed logistically.
Like, that bridge of stone, you could really do some stuff on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's still here. There's a little bit of, like, decay, especially on the bottom side. But, like, even with the decay, it's held up. And you think it'd hold up for another 500 years if it had to. At least. Maybe longer. It collapses as you stand. Okay.
As the idiot you are, you step on this rickety, unsafe bridge. Like a fool, you fall into the water. The only thing you can ask yourself is, why didn't I check to make sure it was safe? You fool.
You fool.
You fool.
You foolishly foolish fool. Have you gotten far enough in the Phoenix Wright series to get that reference yet?
I think so.
Nice.
Wait, what is that? What's that in?
That's in game number 2 when Francisca becomes the prosecutor. That's her, like, catchphrase. She calls everybody a fool.
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten to that. Yeah, I need to get back into the Phoenix Wright. We were playing it and then we got. I don't know. These days the way I play video games is like, I play a game, and then I'll pause. I'll try another one, and then I'll come back to that game, and it's like I have like a complex web of 15 games that I'm slowly working through. It's ridiculous.
Same, but all of my games are WoW.
Right now I have a Fallout New Vegas playthrough that I'm slowly working through. I have a Kingdom Come Deliverance playthrough that I'm slowly working through. I have a Pillars 2 playthrough that I'm slowly working through. A Baldur's Gate 1 playthrough that I'm slowly working through. I just started a Witcher playthrough that I'm sure I'll slowly work through. It's endless.
Are you planning on playing something today?
I don't know. We'll find out. I might play Witcher.
Is it more of a whim thing, or do you have like tomorrow I play?
I certainly don't have a schedule. Maybe I should have a schedule.
If it makes it more fun, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. I think that's the way to do it.
All right, Admand is going to move up here.
Well, it's kind of something I have to have a schedule for. I can't be like, I'm playing Kata today. It's going to be like, I have my Kata raid on Sunday. I have my retail raid on Wednesday.
The only problem with playing games this way is that with certain games, it's really hard to come back to it after a hiatus. So I got really into Hollow Knight, which is like a Metrovania type fighting platformer.
I haven't played it, but I have a
game.
friend that does, and I know about it. Yeah.
I will say it's a really good game, but I played the whole regular campaign, like binged it, and there was a DLC, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna do the like expansion later. But I came back, and all of a sudden I could not fight the later level monsters because, like, even though I had all these tools, my skill had atrophied, and I was like, I'm getting my ass kicked by everything. I need to almost start from square one, rebuild my knowledge of the tools, because it's like it's hard to just come back to a game like that if you haven't played it in a while. High skill floor. I imagine Dark Souls games would be similar.
I'm a binge hyperfixate gamer for sure. I will get really into a game for a couple weeks, and then I'll drop it and I won't play it again. Maybe ever.
Ever.
Yeah. Sometimes ever. Just sometimes for a couple of years. Okay, so as you look down here, you obviously see another door in a stone wall. Just going to see if there's any more information I need to pass on to you here. Okay, a short flight of stone steps leads down to a wooden door that stands half open. So it is half open already. I'm going to just fix that on the Roll20. I can't make it half open, but it's not locked anymore. It's half open. There's dark, stagnant water pools in the small landing at the base of the steps and in the doorway, presumably filling the room beyond as well. The area smells of rot.
I get my 10-foot pole out.
Okay.
I poke the water.
The water reacts as you would expect water to.
All right. So hopefully not news. I put my 10-foot pole away. And I am going to try to bash this door. Well, actually, first I'll try the knob.
It's like half open already, so you just need to push it
it's half
open.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom.
Yeah, you find a flooded sort of. It looks very similar to the rooms you've already been in, but this one is both empty and flooded.
I feel like I almost get the sense that like these lower chambers needed more maintenance that the orcs were able to give them, and so they've fallen into just like utter disrepair without the dwarves sort of maintaining them. That's my vibe.
All three of you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
What? No. This is gonna be horrible. Okay. Is this a trap?
No.
Damn it.
You could probably make a lawyery argument that it is, but I don't think so.
No, I despise lawyers. I would never.
Cool. Hey. That's mean.
Yeah, that's mean. Istria is 2. And there's no fuck. That's not good.
Could you make a note somewhere for me?
Let me make a lawyer argument that I should get to reroll Istria and Dorian's checks.
Okay.
Here's why. No, I'm just kidding.
Can you make a note for me somewhere that Istria and Dorian failed Constitution saves in the flooded storeroom?
What do they have? Do they have tuberculosis now? Like, what the hell? Son of a bitch. All right. I think they literally have, like, TB or something horrible. They have something absolutely horrible. They have a fungal infection. It's gonna be the most miserable death. Be slow. Okay.
I have to say, playing through this level especially is giving me a lot of like old school dungeon design vibes.
Oh yeah, the fact that you step into a puddle and you just get diseased.
Yeah. And also the ooze in that that storeroom filled with nothing.
I mean, so I will say the vast expanses of nothingness is very old school dungeon. Like, I feel like I once looked at. I've never even considered running it, but if you look at the I think it's the Tomb of Horrors, like the original Tomb of Horrors. It's like 90% empty space. It's like
Yep.
it's like vast expanses of like the way they used to design. I mean, part of that was because the DM was supposed to populate it with things, but like they would design a few set piece rooms and battles and puzzles, and then the rest they'd just say, "Here's a bunch of empty space. Use it if you want. Put whatever you want in it. Put monsters in it. Put traps in it. Whatever." And I feel like that. Say what you will about that dungeon design, but it is very it's very like it's definitely a very iconic 70s thing to be like going through these massive empty expanses of rooms with nothing but suffering. Nothing. I mean, that's not true cuz also in the 70s they would populate the rooms with treasure based on the like monsters you put in there, but still a lot of suffering. A lot of suffering. Okay. I'm going to I guess. Well, I mean, we're already diseased, so you know.
Yeah.
Pound in, penny
in for
foolish.
a penny, in for a pound.
Just fucked up that saying, yeah.
I like the way you went with it though. Pound in, penny foolish. I like that.
Well, because that's like a mix of two. Have you ever heard the other expression? It's
no.
Oh, it's I think the original expression is pound wise, penny foolish. Or no, sorry. The original expression is penny wise, pound foolish. And that's for someone who is very good at like finding little deals and saving a few cents here and there, but they spend too much money on things they don't need.
Yeah,
right? That's kind of the
I feel that. Yeah,
there are a lot of
especially
people
when stuff is like on offer and things like that. Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I'm pound wise and penny foolish. I feel like I'm good at not buying ridiculous things I don't need, but I'm terrible at finding little ways to save money here and there. So maybe I'm the reverse. All right, so we're here. Is there anything at the back of this place other than suffering?
Yeah, you notice.
A dead body.
Yeah, submerged in the water here is a skeleton of a humanoid creature.
Okay. Do I want to get close to it? 10 football.
Yeah. Okay. Poke at it. All right. As you poke at it a little, it moves around, and you can see that underneath it is a leather pouch.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go up and grab it.
Cool. Yeah, you pull it out. It appears to be quite rotted and in bad condition, but if you open it, there are 2 vials within.
Oh. Do I recognize them? Have I seen similar vials?
No, I don't think so. I think these are new to you. One of the vials contains a cloudy green fluid. The other vial... the other vial is interesting. As you pick it up, it feels like there is liquid inside. But as you open it and look inside it, it appears empty.
I'm going to call that a vial of invisible fluid.
Okay.
Like, it's not that it's clear. It's that it doesn't look like there's
looks completely empty, yeah.
But if
you shake it, you hear liquid sloshing around.
Does Dorian have any idea what either of these could be just by looking at them?
Roll an Arcana check. Yeah, I think he can make he looks at them, he gives the green one a sniff, and he says, he nods, and as you sniff it, you smell the sea. And he says he believes this one is a potion of water breathing. And
That's
he believes
huge in a
this one is a potion of invisibility.
Water breathing. Basically, we've won the game. Invisibility. Oh, because the liquid's invisible. These are very
good potions. Yeah, I agree.
Wow. Yeah, those are like third level spells? Or invisibility is at a second level spell, but these are high. Like these are good. These are good. Very good, strong potions. Okay. And unlike scrolls, anyone can drink them and get the effect, right? Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dorian warns you
Oh,
that
you might get addicted.
no, but there are stories of very, very rare side effects of magical potions from time to time. Yeah.
Okay. As is tradition, Admand will give a quick sweep of these 3 waterlogged rooms to see if there's any secret door.
Yep, go ahead. You're quite convinced that there are no secret doors in these storerooms.
With each search, Istria and Dorian worry more about Admand's sanity. Why are you obsessed with the idea that there's secret doors?
Secret doors.
Secret doors. Through the Dwarven fortress. Secret doors. That's such a great song.
It is.
The other day, 2 of my cats were sleeping on our bed, my partner and my bed, and there was like a big blanket pile in between them, so it looked like a mountain range was between them. And so we both started singing "Secret Tunnels" because they have to go through to get to each other. Anyway, all right, so that the music from that show is so good. Whenever I think about Leaves from the Vine, I literally have to like stop myself because I know I will get really, really fucking sad if I sing that song or think about it too much.
And the music stayed as, but maybe not those specific ones, but the actual like OST as well for that show's really good, and it stayed good in Korra and arguably got better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
know you were talking about more of the compositions and the.
Yeah, I don't think there are as many like little sing along songs in Korra.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm more talking about like the OST, the background.
The OST in Legend of Korra is really good, and really one of the things they do in Korra that's really impressive, and in Avatar, in both cases, they have a soundtrack that fits the time period they're going for.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting.
Really well. So if you ever listen to the Korra soundtrack, it has a lot of jazzy tunes because they're in like a 1920s type steampunk era, and so it's a lot of jazz and horns and brass, and in the Avatar it's a lot more traditional like Japanese and Asian instruments and wind instruments, and so it's kind of interesting to hear the difference. And I think they probably do a similar thing with the music during the Wan first Avatar 2 episode arc. I'm sure that I haven't listened to that music in a while, but like I'm sure the music there is probably pretty fitting. They probably don't have jazz playing in that episode.
It's heavy metal, actually. It's
heavy metal. Yeah.
It's Scandinavian, death metal playing constantly.
We were all like, it fits somehow. Like it just does.
Yeah, really weird, but it works.
We head slowly towards this interminable door staircase thing.
Yep.
Diseased, I might add.
Yep.
Fully diseased.
Oh, they said, is this the East? I was like, yeah, it's the East.
No.
Well, only 2 of you are potentially diseased.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it was, sometimes I have been known to say roll a constitution save, and then just nothing happens. Maybe I'm just fucking with you, It could be the case.
Yeah, and have me make a note to extra fuck with me.
Yeah. And then we'll come back to it in a few episodes' time. I'll be like, oh yeah, they had a cold. They're over it. They got better.
That was a meme.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Because as you reach the top of this staircase, you can see the water rushing down, and it would have come out the other side where you've just come from. And you see there are in this water a collection of like jumping fish that hop from time to time. They sparkle and gleam. They're quite bright colored fish. And as you see them, you notice as one of the fish at the apex of its jump is wrapped by a tentacle coming from the south, squeezed and then pulled into the darkness to the south. And I think that is where we're going to leave the session this week.
They're fucking Kraken. Oh my god, that's terrifying.
All right, I'm going to get some XP. Did you have a good time this week?
I had a great time, although that just reminds me that like if you put a gun to my head and said you have to transform into an animal, I would just say please nothing in the ocean. Like please.
It's got to be a
I would
cat,
maybe be
right? I like a domesticated cat. I think that's the dream.
Sure. Anything other than the ocean, though. Like,
Yeah.
I would rather be a deer in a hunter's preserve than be a fish in the ocean.
What if you were the biggest thing in the ocean? Like, what if you were like a big old whale or shark?
I guess maybe. Yeah, a killer whale, I would feel safe. Or if I was a blue whale, I surely would be okay. But even then, it would just be freaky. Like, I would just be constantly freaked out. I guess probably the things in the ocean aren't as afraid of it as we are.
Yeah.
But I think I would be. I
They
think
have
I'd be
the
the one.
tools to deal with it.
They do have tools. They can breathe down there. They can probably see a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it'd be. I would be the one whale that would be terrified of everything. They'd be like, "Hey, Marshall, you want to go out to the big drop off?" And I'd be like, "Fuck no, I stay in the coral reef." And you're like, "You're a whale. You can't stay in the coral reef. You have to go out to the open oceans." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
You're there, barely covered by the coral reef. Like, I'm staying.
I'm staying. I'm not going out there. I don't know what's happening. Like, you are the largest organism on the planet. Nothing's gonna eat you. Like,
They ain't gonna meet me here.
Something might try to eat me, though. Something might try to eat me.
Yeah. Have you ever read Moby Dick? I have.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, but that's about you eating something, not you being eaten by something. No, I'm not going out there.
I'm not getting harpooned.
I'm gonna get hunted. That's the thing. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get hunted by humans. That's terrible.
Clearly, the correct answer actually is dragon.
To be a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I could be a mythical, unstoppable beast, then that would be the
force
way to go.
of nature. Yeah.
But if I had to choose between a dragon in like D&D world or just the average house cat in a well-tended home, I would be a house cat any day. Like, that's the way to go. I think they just have a better, simpler life. I guess as a dragon you could live for thousands of years, but what are you doing? What do dragons do? They just like
amass treasure.
Either being attacked or they're sleeping. That's like the two activities they do.
There's also, there are the good aligned dragons that like protect humans and stuff. And
okay. I guess I could be a gold, silver type dragon.
Raises in like grow, not burn. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not.
I'm gonna raise your city. What?
No, not like that. Not like that.
No, not like that.
All right. I'm gonna give all three of the active characters today 700 XP.
700.
Yeah, a little bit of combat XP, a lot of encounter XP for various little things, and then a little bit of role play XP.
Admand has hit the big 10K mark.
That's crazy. You are 4,000 XP higher than you need to be to level up. I'm actually really surprised. Not surprised, but I'm impressed how far you've gotten in the dungeon with no long rest yet. Yeah, you've done really well, I think. Curious to see how much further you're gonna go without trying to get one.
Man, long rest in the dungeon's hard though, isn't that?
No, in the dungeon will be really hard. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to head back to town to get one.
Or at least that guy's
house.
Barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've considered it. I've considered. At the very least, we might be due for a short rest here very soon. But yeah, I don't know. I if I can do the whole dungeon without taking a long rest, I think that's the goal. It'll
be efficient. Unimpressive.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Well, I guess part of it is me as a GM. I always am annoyed when the players take too many long rests. Because actually the game is sort of balanced around the assumption that the party isn't resting constantly. I find that battles are sometimes too easy if the party can supernova you call it like supernovaing.
Yeah.
Use all your ability. Like these fights would be really easy if every fight Dorian uses
had all your
all
resources.
of his spells.
Yeah, for sure.
Like So I think actually the encounter balance is kind of skewed if you play it that way. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to like.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Although what I will say is two things. One, I've the rules that we're playing by, the gritty realism, goes a decent way to resolving that on its own.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yeah, and
because I also don't want to rest because it takes too long.
Yes, and and I also think dungeons sometimes throw that out of whack. So, for example, I'm fairly certain you've had way more than 8 encounters on this long rest. I'd be pretty confident on that. Obviously, counting non-combat encounters too, which I do. Today you had, I'd say 4 encounters today. Yeah, the Sturges, the Ooze, the general exploration on the higher floor. So, for example, the sarcophaguses and the slippery river. If we combine those together, I think I'd call that an encounter. And then the water here, I would consider an encounter.
And we took a short rest, but
you did.
Since the last time I take a long rest, I fought like 20 orcs
and
an ogre. I think it was an ogre, like some sort of giant, and a bunch of giant wolves, and
all of the combat encounters on level 1. There was probably like 6 encounters just there, and then you had the 2 traps that you encountered. You encountered both of them, and those are definitely fully fledged encounters. Arguably crossing the rope bridge, reinforcing the front door, like all that stuff would come under my definition of encounter. So 5e is generally balanced around 6 to 8 encounters per long rest, and I think you've vastly exceeded that at this point. So I'm not worried about
with 3 PCs.
That's true as well. You've lost someone, which is huge.
Currently with 3 PCs, which it's like I think a lot of parties would be like, "We're leaving. We failed." A lot of the players I've played with, if they lost a PC and they're like, "I'm gonna retreat. We're not coming back to this place." But one advantage of being a player who's controlling all these people is like I'm a little less attached to the person
individual
camp. Sure, I'm sad that Kratz died, but I'm not gonna call off the mission.
It's not your character. It's not your only character. Yeah, it is your character, but it's not your only character.
But it's not my only character, so I'm not gonna call off the expedition for it. Yeah. And I think in a lot of parties that would itself be like, I'm so demoralized from this that we need to like reconsider, and it's really easy for parties to lose their real life morale. It's like often we have mechanics to track morale, but players have morale and they lose it. If they lose a character, boom, drops to 0. They're like, I don't know, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway. Okay. But that was a fun session. Fuck snakes.
Yep. Fuck oozes.
Fuck oozes.
Snake oozes.
The ocean.
I'm glad you share my fuck the ocean thing, by the way, because I do like.
I want to protect the ocean.
Of course,
I just don't want to be near them.
Exactly. I think people sometimes get at me for how dangerous I make bodies of water in my games, but water is fucking scary. And if you fell into the water wearing plate mail, you would die. That's just what's gonna happen. I think it's important to respect water.
Yeah, I think the only way you wouldn't die is if you had armor that was made to be taken off basically quickly. Like if you had like emergency release straps or something that you could pull and your armor would just kind of fly off. But
if someone maybe attached like a hook to you and dragged you out, or if you had magic like water walking boots or water breathing potion. Even then, you gotta drink it before you go down, because I'm not gonna let you drink a potion under the water. That's dumb.
No, I agree. I mean, in the Boy Scouts, we had to practice. We would do these like different, swimming survival things, and we had to practice, saving people from the water and things like that. But we also had to practice going into water with fully clothed, wearing jeans and everything. And then we had to practice taking off our jeans in the water and then turning them into a life preserver. This is something you can do. It's kind of like, yes, you have to tie off the ends, catch air, tie off the top, and you can make your jeans into a makeshift air sack, basically, as long as they don't have any holes in them. It's a little crude, but
so it doesn't work anymore because everyone's jeans are like those ripped holy jeans. Yeah.
But if you have good solid denim, it will work. It might work with other kinds of pants, but definitely with like denim, it will work. And we had to do that. And one of the hardest parts is taking pants off while still swimming. You mostly use your legs when you're swimming. Most of the work staying afloat is with your legs. Your arms are actually kind of bad at, this is why when people who don't know how to swim get in the water, they start drowning because they think they can hold themselves up with their arms and they can't. You need to be able to use your legs to swim. And so taking off your jeans while still swimming is really hard. Doing that with armor, I can't imagine. I wouldn't try. I would, like that could be an Olympic sport and certainly not something that someone who just did it could do. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the water's super dangerous. I also think, anything other than a small pond could have unknown dangers in it, especially in a magical world. Yeah. Do I actually think I'm likely to get eaten if I go in the ocean? No, I'm not that paranoid. But in a magical world, I don't know what's in there. It could be anything. It could be megalodons, okay? I ain't messing with it. All that being said, even though I'm terrified of the ocean, I also love it, and I love watching documentaries about it, and so I don't want this to be misinterpreted as like
I lived by the sea for like 4 years, and one of my favorite things was going down and watching the sea. I love
I'd like to characterize it as like I have a healthy respect for it.
I agree. Yeah, respect for water.
Respect and love, but also sometimes you fear what you love the most.
All right, good note to end it on. Do you have anything else you want to go over?
I think that's all.
Are we good for next week?
That is a good question. So next week would
21st.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna need to get back to you. It's really close to Christmas, so I'll have to figure out what exactly the dates look like for my Christmas plans. But I will get back to you.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon, some point in the next couple of weeks, and then we will continue to explore Kundrakar. See you then. Peace out.